I am officially on my day feed goal rate. This is what's going to treat my MRSA. A little while after I administered the medicine, my heart rate got really, really high, and I got the rashes. On our adventure.
Ah, yeah. Freezing cold here.
Thank you. She loves to get that for me. And done. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. That was my morning routine, more or less. Sometimes it varies, and I didn't show y'all everything because it's impossible to fit my entire life in a vlog. This morning, y'all didn't see how it was a struggle and how long I took to get out of bed because of the pain and other symptoms. You didn't see the medicines I took as soon as I woke up, the breathing treatment I did. Occasionally I have a port needle change, which happens once a week. But you know, my infusions, my physical therapy, my feeding tube stuff, all of that is something I do pretty regularly. And although I do get tired of the treatments sometimes, I'm thankful they're available to keep me going. And speaking of treatments, this is erythromycin liquid. It's an antibiotic that's been known to stimulate digestion, so we're adding this into my gastroparesis treatment. I have been on erythromycin before, but we considered it a failed treatment because it didn't help me to allow me to sustain myself on oral intake alone. But we're bringing it back into my treatment because I'm now transitioning to day feeds. But to stay on day feeds, I have to eat a certain amount of calories per day. If I don't eat enough, I have to run more formula overnight to compensate. So we're hoping the erythromycin will give me that little extra help I need to eat enough calories for the day feeds. The thing with this though is I cannot take it consistently because then it loses all its effect and it doesn't help me that much in the first place. So I can only take it 1 week on, 1 week off, and today is the first day we're bringing it back into my treatment, and now I'm gonna go get what I need to administer it. So this does come in a pill form. It also comes intravenously, and its strongest form is IV. And when my gastroparesis became really severe, I was put on IV erythromycin, but even then, it just wasn't enough to really help me. But my doctor ordered it in liquid form because it's easier to put through my feeding tube. And if I put it through my tube, it'll go to my jejunum, my small intestine, where it will be absorbed better than if I took it orally because my stomach just does not absorb things well due to my gastroparesis. So I'm going to turn off the pump. I could pause it, but if you leave it paused for like 2 minutes, it'll start beeping saying, hey, you forgot about me. So I'm just gonna turn it off and I'm going to unhook. So first I just flush with water. I use regular tap water. Then I'm going to clamp, put that back. Then I need to shake this really well. All right. And my dose is 5 milliliters, so I'm using this little syringe. All right, I've got 5 milliliters of the erythromycin. So I'm going to unclamp, push, and clamp again. When you clamp it, it doesn't like come pouring out. And then I'm going to flush with water again. Ta-da! Clamp. Then I reconnect my feeds, unclamp, and I just got to turn on the pump. Oh, and this is exciting. Are y'all ready? 1, 2, run. I am officially on my day feed goal rate. So it took me a week and a day to reach my day feed goal rate, because remember, this is the highest rate I have ever met on my feeding tube because I'm getting more nutrition in a faster time frame. And part of the reason I'm able to do this is because my body accepts my Kate Farms formula so well. That plays a huge role in my ability to tolerate a higher goal rate. But you know, none of this is set permanently. My feeding tube regimen is very flexible to my needs. We monitor how my chronic illnesses present themselves because the severity of my symptoms can vary over time. We monitor how stable my weight is, my activity level, and other factors, and then we alter my feeding tube schedule based on that. If I need more nutrition, less nutrition, if I wanted to run night feeds instead of day feeds for some reason, I could. If I had to go back to 24-hour feeds, I could do that too. And technically, if I can't eat enough during the day, that is 24-hour feeds, but in the end, with this schedule, I feel like I have at least a little more freedom, a little more options. And if you're new and don't know why I'd rather run during the day than at night, it's because running feeds at night aggravates my reflux, and I also move a lot in my sleep, so I tangle the tubing up, I kink it, and then the alarm on the pump goes off multiple times a night, which is quite annoying. So I'm really glad that my GI and I were able to compromise on day feeds, but running more at night if I need to do so. But like I said, nothing is set permanently. We monitor a lot of factors and we alter my feeding tube regimen to accommodate, because it's just a very customizable tool that can be tailored to my individual needs to keep me healthy and to help me in the battle against my chronic illnesses. Well, it is 4:30 p.m. It's been a few hours since I took the erythromycin, and I've only been able to eat a couple pretzels, and by a couple I mean 4. So it's not doing much, but I'm gonna stick with it because that is my treatment plan for now. My doctors, like, they don't have me take medications if it doesn't work, but obviously I need to take the erythromycin more than once. I gotta stick with it for a while to really determine if it's useful or not. Just because a medication worked in the past does not mean it'll work now. Like, I used to take Reglan and it helped a little bit. Then I developed a severe allergy, same with Phenergan. So I'm just gonna stick with it and I'll just keep doing the best I can. Alrighty, well, my mom went to the pharmacy and picked up my antibiotic, so we have more medicine to put through my feeding tube today. This is what's going to treat my MRSA. If you don't know about the MRSA thing, watch yesterday's vlog. But I am just really thankful it came in a liquid form because it's so much easier to put through my feeding tube. If it were in a pill form, there's a possibility I could crush it, dissolve it in water, and then push it through my feeding tube, but not every pill is safe to be crushed. That's why it's important to check with your doctor or pharmacist. But we checked, and this can be put through my feeding tube. If it goes to my jejunum, it'll be absorbed much better. So just like before, I'm going to flush with water. I'm going to be using this syringe with the medication, and remember that my doctor is giving me a high dose of this antibiotic to really try and combat this infection, especially with my immunodeficiency. Ow. This makes my hand joints angry. That is an interesting color. And I just flush the medication. I'm going to do this very slowly because I'm flushing with 35 milliliters of water, then 30 milliliters of medication, and then 35 more milliliters of water afterwards. That's a lot of volume for my jejunum to handle. Can y'all see Harlow's nose right there? Anyways, so I'm gonna administer it very slowly to hopefully offset any cramping that might happen from just too much volume at one time. All right, and just finishing up the antibiotic. I know to y'all, it didn't seem long because I'm gonna crop it, but I literally spent quite a while doing that. And flush. Again, I'm gonna be going really slowly. All right, I have administered my first dose. It's just one dose a day for 14 days, but I actually only have until this coming Monday to see an improvement. That's when I see my doctor again. And if there's no improvement, then we're gonna have to take those additional steps I mentioned in yesterday's vlog. But fingers crossed the antibiotic works. Okay, I'm doing okay now, but like a little while after I administered the medicine, my heart rate like got really, really high, and I got the rashes, and it started getting difficult to swallow, and she got all nervous, I could tell, so I had to administer an IV Benadryl, and that seems to have taken care of it. My mom's coming over. That was... I am in bed. I'm going to sleep. I am okay now. I had an allergic reaction to the antibiotic for my MRSA. I was able to stop it with IV Benadryl, but even when I was physically okay and the reaction was resolving itself, I was understandably still freaked out because those are scary. I felt better when my mom got here though, and she's actually staying the night tonight because Judd is working. She just went home to grab her things real quick. If you don't know, my mom actually lives in our neighborhood, which is wonderful for so many reasons. Just honestly, it feels like there have been quite a few setbacks with my health recently. It's just, chronic illness is not fair. You know, I am doing everything right. I'm trying so hard and things are still going wrong. But we're not out of options. There is still a way to keep moving forward. But for right now, I'm just not going to think about it. I am going to play a Disney movie because those are awesome. I'm going to watch Up. I'm going to snuggle with my dog. And I'm just going to take a break and not think about it. Tomorrow, I'll call my doctor first thing and we'll go from there. I also want to say thank you. Y'all have been so lovely and supportive through everything, as per usual. I really appreciate it. And I'm just going to give myself a break tonight and not think about all the stressful things. I'm going to start my movie, and with that, I will say good night, and thanks for joining us on our adventure.